Flooring companies will tell you LVP flooring is scratch-proof, waterproof, and indestructible. So why am I ripping out and replacing over 40 failed LVP floors a year? These aren't 10-year-old floors either. They're failing in 1 to 3 years. And if you don't want to be the next homeowner calling someone like me to redo a floor you just paid for, this video is going to be the most important thing you watch before making your decision. Coming up in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what LVP flooring really is and how it's different from other options like hardwood or premium laminate. Then I'm going to show you the hidden downsides that most people don't find out about until it's too late. The stuff flooring companies won't tell you up front. And finally, I'll help you figure out if LVP is actually the right choice for your home and your situation. Because for a lot of people, it isn't. And I don't want you finding that out the hard way. A while back, a homeowner reached out to us after being sold on LVP by another flooring company. They told her it was scratch-proof, waterproof, and it will last forever. She bought in, sounded like a great deal, then about 18 months later, she's calling us because the floor is already failing. The joints were lifting and there were gaps between the planks. And in some areas, you could actually feel the floor move when you walked on it. She was frustrated, and honestly, I didn't blame her. She was misled because nobody explained what LVP actually is. And that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. So let's start from the beginning. LVP stands for luxury vinyl plank. It's a plastic or vinyl product. It's not real wood. It's designed to look like wood, but it's made out of plastic and vinyl materials. Now, every LVP plank is built in layers. On the very top, you have the wear layer. That's the clear protective coating that shields the floor from scratches and everyday wear. Below that, you have the design layer. That's what gives the plank its wood look. It's basically a printed image. Then you have the core, which is the thickest part of the plank. This is what gives the floor its structure and strength. And at the very bottom, you usually have a backing layer or an attached pad for cushion and sound. Now, when it comes to the core, there are two main types. You'll see SPC and WPC. SPC stands for stone plastic composite. It's a very rigid and dense core, which makes it more durable and better for high traffic areas. WPC stands for wood plastic composite. It's a little bit softer and more flexible, which gives it a bit more comfort underfoot, but it's usually not as strong as the SPC. For most homeowners, I recommend an SPC core LVP because of how well it holds up over time. But the core type alone doesn't tell you everything. You also need to pay attention to the wear layer, and that's what we're going to talk about next. The wear layer is the first line of defense on your LVP floor. It's the clear coating on top that protects against scratches, scuffs, and everyday wear and tear. And here's the thing most people don't realize. Not all wear layers are the same. They come in different thicknesses, and that thickness makes a huge difference in how long your floors are going to last. Wear layers are measured in mils. You'll usually see numbers like a 6 mil, 12 mil, or a 20 mil. A 6 mil wear layer is about as thin as it gets. That's what you'll find on a lot of those cheap LVP floors. It offers almost no real protection. If you have pets, kids, or any kind of regular foot traffic, a 6 mil floor is going to show scratches very fast. A 12 mil wear layer is a step up. It will hold up a little better, but for a home, it's still on the lower end. What I recommend for homeowners is a 20 mil wear layer and above. That's going to give you real scratch resistance and hold up for years without showing heavy wear. This is one of the biggest reasons why cheap LVP floors fail so fast. The wear layer is paper thin, it breaks down quickly, and once it's gone, the design layer underneath starts showing damage and there's no way to fix it. You can't sand it down and refinish it like hardwood. Once the wear layer is gone, the floor is done. Now let's talk about the biggest marketing lies in the LVP industry, and that is the word waterproof. Almost every LVP brand will market their floors as waterproof. And yes, if you take an LVP plank and drop in a bucket of water, nothing is going to happen to it. It's made of plastic and vinyl. The plank itself won't absorb water. But here's what they don't tell you. The problem isn't the plank, the problem is what happens around it and underneath it. Also, if you have a moisture issue in your concrete slab, the LVP flooring will start cupping, which will completely ruin the floor. So when water gets into the seams between the planks or sits along the edges where the walls, it works its way underneath the floor and sits on the subfloor. And that's where the real damage starts. You can end up with mold, mildew, and moisture problems underneath the floor that's supposed to be waterproof. If the water gets underneath the floor, even if the LVP itself isn't damaged, the floor still has to come up because now you've got a moisture issue underneath that can't be ignored. So waterproof doesn't mean your floor is safe from water damage. It just means the plank material itself won't absorb water. That's a very different thing. What you really need to worry about is making sure water doesn't get past the surface and into the seams. That's why proper installation and proper subfloor preparation matters so much. Now let's talk about price, because this is where a lot of homeowners get confused. LVP comes in a wide range of prices. You can find it as cheap as $1 or $2 per square foot, and you can find it at $5, $6, even $7 a square foot. And that difference between the cheap LVP and the premium LVP is massive. That cheap stuff you see on sale at the big box stores for $1.50 a square foot, it's thin, it's flimsy, the locking mechanism is weak, and the wear layer is almost non-existent. I've seen floors like that fill in just a few months. The minimum thickness I recommend for any LVP floor is 5 millimeters and above. Anything thinner than that and you're asking for problems. Thin LVP means a brittle locking mechanism, and that leads to gaps, separation, joints breaking, especially in areas where you have chairs or heavy furniture moving around. Now, a good quality LVP does exist. Mohawk, for example, makes some really solid products. But here's the thing, every brand, including Mohawk, also has cheap, low quality lines. So just because a brand name sounds good doesn't mean every product they make is going to hold up. You have to look at the specs. As a company, we never show our clients a low cost, low quality product. We only carry and recommend the highest quality LVP options because we know what happens when you go cheap. Here's what I want you to look for on the product spec sheet before you buy anything. First, check the wear layer. You want a 20 mil or above. Second, look at the overall thickness of the plank. You want at least 5 millimeters and above. And third, check to see what type of locking mechanism it has. The best locking mechanism is the Uniclick system. These three specs are going to tell you a lot about whether the product is built to last or built to sell cheap. So with everything I've told you so far, you might be wondering, is there a good time to use LVP? And the answer is yes, there is. LVP can be a great option in the right situation with the right product. It works really well in basements because of its durability. It's a solid choice for families who have pets and children. LVP is a good option as long as you're using a high quality product and it's installed properly. But here's where I see homeowners make the wrong call. If you're putting flooring in your main living areas, your bedrooms, or anywhere you want the high-end look and feel, cheap LVP might not be the best fit. Cheap LVP floors are usually about a third of the thickness of laminate floors, so they don't provide the same comfort underfoot. They also don't have the same realistic wood look and feel that high-quality LVP in the premium laminate or even an engineered hardwood gives you. So before you commit to a cheap LVP for your whole house, ask yourself what the space is being used for, how much traffic it gets, and how important is that wood look and feel to you. That's going to help you figure out if LVP is truly the right choice or if you should be looking at something else. I told you earlier that I see over 40 LVP failures a year. And after looking at that many failed floors, I can tell you that almost every single one has the same two things in common. Number one, the flooring company that installed it did zero subfloor preparation. And number two, the LVP product they used was a cheap and thin product. That's it. That's the pattern. No prep work and a low quality floor. When you combine those two things together, you are setting yourself up for failure within 1 to 3 years. The floor starts moving, the joints start lifting, gaps appear, and at that point, there's no fixing it. The whole floor has to come up and be replaced. Your floor is only as good as what's underneath it. If the subfloor isn't flat, if there are high spots or low spots that weren't grinded down or leveled, the floor is going to move every time you walk on it. And when the floor moves, those click lock joints start to break, especially on cheap, thin LVP where the locking mechanism is already weak to begin with. And here's something else to keep in mind. LVP floors use a click lock installation system. That means the planks snap together at the joints. There's no glue holding them down. So the only thing keeping your floors together is the strength of that locking mechanism and the flatness of the surface underneath it. If either one of those is off, the whole system fails. That's why subfloor preparation and product quality go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other and expect a good result. This is the biggest mistake I see in the flooring industry. Companies skip the prep work because it takes time and it costs more money. And then they install a thin, cheap product on top of it. The homeowner thinks they got a good deal, and then a year later, they're paying to have the whole thing ripped out and redone. And don't let that happen to you. So before you buy any LVP floor, here are some things I want you to ask your flooring company. First, what is the thickness of the LVP? Make sure it's at least 5 millimeters and above. Second, what is the wear layer? You want the 20 mil or above. Third, is it SPC or WPC core? And what type of locking mechanism does it have? Fourth, ask them what subfloor preparation is included in their quote. If they tell you none or they don't even mention it, that's a huge red flag. Fifth, ask to see the product spec sheet. If they can't show you the specs, they either don't know or they don't want you to know. These questions are going to protect you. They're going to help you spot the companies that are just trying to make a quick sale versus the ones who actually care about giving you a floor that lasts. And trust me, taking 5 minutes to ask these questions now can save you thousands of dollars down the line. Now you know what LVP really is and what to look for. But how much should you actually be paying for? In this next video, I break down a real client quote line by line so you can see exactly where your money goes and make sure nobody's cutting corners on your project. Check it out right here.